Hi everyone, in this video I'll walk you through how to start an EC2 instance using AWS Management Console. Alright, let's get started. So let's go to the login screen. The login screen for the AWS Management Console is aws.amazon.com/console. So I'm here, so I'll just say log back in. So log back in. And so it shows here my AWS account, the username, the IAM username and the password. So I'm going to use the IAM user name and password to log in. I'm not going to use the root user email to log in. And then as you can see here, there are various options on way how to go to the EC2 dashboard. So there's one which it shows on my recently visited services, which is EC2 here. So I'll click on that. You can always type in the find services to go to EC2 dashboard. So I'll click on that. And then it brings me to the EC2 dashboard page. And now from here I'll click on instances on the left now to bring the instances screen. And then from here then I'll click launch instance. Now there are two options. One is launch instance, there is launch instance from template. Since I don't have a template right now, so it shows launch instance. I'll click on launch instance and it brings up this page where it allows you to choose different Amazon machine images. So we'll pick the first free tier one. So we'll pick the Amazon Linux 2 AMI like that. Go to the next page. Now this is page where you can choose the instance type depending on your requirements. So for example, the T2 micro is free and it has 1 CPU and has 1 GB memory. And its network performance is low to moderate and the storage is EBS only. Now there are various other varieties of instance types. For example, you can go all the way up to 8 CPUs and 32 GB of the memory. And then there are different categories of options where you can have up to 96 CPUs and 384 gigabyte of memory. So there are different options here, but for this purpose, let's pick the free tier eligible instance type T2 micro. Now let's configure the next screen. So the next screen allows you to select different things like which VPC the EC2 instance will run in, the subnet that it will run in, the IAM role. You can pick the IAM role that the EC2 instance will run as. So if you were to connect to DynamoDB or Cognito, then you need to pick the role that has access to EC2, so that way you don't have to do any additional configuration. And then you can pick the shutdown behavior here. So as you shut down, maybe you want to terminate, then you can pick terminate option here, or you can just leave it to stop. So stop is the default. And then there is one more important thing that I wanted to show here is that there is a place called there is a text box called user data. So the commands that you type in here will get executed as your EC2 instance comes up. So I will pick one which sets up the web server on the EC2 instance and starts up. So I'm just going to search for EC2 user data sample, and then it brings up the Amazon document, and I'm going to pick the one that Amazon has given us in a sample. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to load that into user data right here. And so let's quickly walk through what it does. So this essentially what it does is it does update of the operating system and it installs few extras, and then it does the install of the MariaDB server, and it starts the web server here, and then it starts the web server here. And so I don't know most of this, but yeah, it starts the web server here as an EC2 user. And so let's go to the next step. So next step is to add storage. And so in this step, in this screen, it allows you to add storage. So the default is 8 gigabytes, but you can go higher also. So for free tier eligible customers, there is about 30 GB allowed total. So but I will leave that as 8 gigabyte for this exercise. Now there are different volume types you can choose. So GP2 is by default, that is the most standard one, and then you can select IO1 or standard if you choose to do so. And you can select encryption also. Those are the options here, but we'll leave all of that to default. And let's go to the next one, that is tags. So you can add key value pairs here to tag your EC2 instances if you so decide, but we'll skip that step here. And let's go to next step of configure security group. Now in the user data, we added a script to be able to run web server on our EC2 instance. So the EC2 instance will start up and it will start the web server, but we need to be able to get to the web server. So we need to add a rule in the security group to allow for the HTTP traffic. So from here we'll add rule and we'll select HTTP here. And so it says port range 80 and source, so it can come from any sources. That zero, all zeros means from any source. And this is just a description if you wanted to write, so you can say things like HTTP traffic. So when you add this rule, it will allow for all inbound traffic on port 80. And then let's go to the next step, which is review and launch. So review and launch allows you to review the settings that you had done previously. So it shows all the settings here. And then when you click launch, then it will open up a screen to allow you to select a key pair for you to be able to access your EC2 instance. So in this case, I'm going to create a new key pair. So you can create new pair and you can give a name. So for example, I'll just use Nilesh and then let's say AWS and there's key pair. And then you just download the key pair. This is the only time it will allow you to download the PEM key, which you will use to be able to SSH into EC2 instance, or you will use it to SCP files to the EC2 instance. So that's what that is for. So X that out, and then let me click launch instances. So now what you can do is you can go to view instances screen, and there it will show our instance running. So at this point you can name the instance here. So that is the key pair. So I'll just name as say test2. And what you can do is you can keep on refreshing till you get the instance state to be running and the status check 2 out of 2 passed. So you can keep on refreshing. So it says running here. Now if you look down, it already has gotten the public DNS assigned, it goes the public IP address assigned, and it gives various information about your instance here. So we already started the web server on this instance. So let's see if we are able to access that web server using the public IP address. So the way to do that is you have to use this link and then just replace the DNS with the DNS from your EC2 instance. So I'll copy that URL, and then from here I'll copy either DNS or I'll copy the IP address. So let me copy the DNS, and then I copy the DNS, and okay, so it can't be reached, so it's not started yet, so we need to wait till it gets started. So I'm going to pause the recording and wait for it to start, and then we'll check again. Alright, I'm back. So let's see the status. It's still initializing, but let me check and see if it's still showing the error here. So I'm going to refresh my screen. Oh, there it is. So now it is showing the data from our web server. So it has started to serve the web pages, but it's still not completed the checks, but it's available for you now. So this is how you connect using the DNS name. Let's try with the IP address. So now I've shown that you are able to connect to your EC2 instance web server using the browser. So that's all for this exercise, but before you go, let's go and stop the EC2 instance, and so that we don't keep on incurring charge. So you can go to actions and then instance state, and then you can either stop or terminate. So I'm going to terminate. I was talking to you about 2 out of 2 checks, so that finally finished. So it's right here, and then now the EC2 instance is available for you to use. It's all checked and everything looks okay. So now to stop, you go to actions and then instance state, and then you can say stop here, or you can say terminate. So I'm going to stop here right now, right? And then it says yes, you can stop. And alright, that's all for now. So in the next video, I'll show you how to connect to your EC2 instance using SSH and copy files using SCP. So thanks for watching. Please provide feedback in the comments below. Thank you.